see them. I'd love to see. I think it's going to be very contestable. I think Little Z is going to be a very big factor for this team that may fly under the radar, and especially in Dust 2, as we go into map number 1, it's simply just an AWPer's paradise, and they played this on their debut against Quem Salelas, and they won 13-7. They know how to boogie on this map, and I can imagine Little Z is going to pop off.
All right, here we go, folks. Week 2, day 2. FURIA versus Atrix here in South America. And as Freddie said, we kick things off here on Dust2, which is Atrix's map pick. We'll see if they can make some magic happen here, much like what we saw earlier in this week with the Killers. Managing to upset MIBR a little bit on their own map pick. A little bit of presence in towards mid here, a little bit of poking and prodding. Nothing doing just yet.
A little part of me is surprised that Nuke maybe hasn't come in and been picked, because that's the map that Atrix won against players and they looked really strong on it. But regardless, the pick of Dust 2 looking to equally be successful. Luluten's taken the first contact from short, but it's all a ruse. It's all a fake. The B bomb site is now targeted. Gabs with a Molotov on top of her. There's nothing that she can do. Iza is rampaging through the door smoke, but similarly meets the same fate. Everyone's streaming out. Furia giving no respect to Atrix right now, but no one's connecting shots. Luluten's finally does get something pen to paper. Car's so far away, so Luluten's is completely isolated right now, and unfortunately, that one might not be good enough as Car enters this 1 versus 2.
These are the USPS, so she has an advantage, but not when you've just been dinked straight to the dome. The moment you peek out, they will run over her and not allow her any of that space. And honestly, I think Furia looking maybe a little bit cold coming into the server at the moment. A lot of that was off the back of some missed shots that maybe should have connected a little bit better. Obviously, we've got a little bit of a ruse happening over towards the A site. Furia don't take the bait, largely because Gabs is holding for B main. And she knows, hang on guys, there's like 3 or 4 people that are trying to push through here. She's firing down sight, trying to pick off somebody, trying to do a bit of damage, but the shots aren't connecting. And then we see the dualies come out as well, and that's not connecting at all. I think it wasn't the best start for Furia, but it definitely feels like maybe they're playing a little bit cold here. We'll see if they can warm up a little bit more as we head into these next few rounds. As now Atrix, of course, going to get a fairly strong buy off the back of winning that first round. Furia opting to invest into that MP9 with Luluten's getting 2 kills. She had that little bit extra money to work with, and if she can get a few kills off the back of this, it could pay off dividends. And yes, the pistols along with the MP9 raining down absolute chaos in mid. They pincer in from 2 directions, and in the blink of an eye, Atrix have that round stolen from them.
I mean, that is a perfect round from Luluten's. What was that, 3 kills on the MP9? I don't think she even seized half of them. It's just spamming and she started blasting. And they were all in her crosshairs. Also hits this redonkulous fadeaway deagle shot as well onto Atrix. And well, even if they did start a little bit slow, as you mentioned, they are definitely awake and alive on this server, as they have a fast rebuttal for Atrix to now be put on pistols. And Carl's already got the AWP out.
Oh, and they go for the Tech 9 rush, but Iza is ready and waiting, backed up by Luluten's. And now this attempt at pushing through these doors, maybe not gonna happen, as the HE will get that finish up. And yeah, I mean, this had a lot of potential. I love a Tech 9 rush. I must admit,
wow,
I don't love a Tech 9 rush up long. Sinan will do a little bit of damage there and take some guns away. She'll be happy with that at the very least. But I feel like when you have pistols, even if it is Tech 9s, you are at a disadvantage at a long-range battle coming up against rifles. So I would have preferred to see them try to take mid or try to take B. Yes, they did that in the last couple of rounds, but I don't know, trying to push for long, it's always going to be difficult. Never mind the fact that there's just somebody chilling up close and personal. All right, we'll see if they can battle back. Unfortunately, after having lost that second round, the economic reset has been horrific for them. Now they're going to be back down onto regular pistols. So this should be another nothing round. Say that. We'll see if they can get a couple of frags. Nah, okay. Nothing round indeed. Bomb to get planted. Maybe? No. Bomb planted killed. That's rough. That little bit of extra money would have been nice. But unfortunately, FURIA definitely looking to kind of put their foot down, stake their claim on that round. So they'll go up to 3 here. Now, this is where Atrix have an opportunity to come back into this. Little Z has got the AWP in hand, and she is going to have to battle it off with Car Sensei. I'm so looking forward to that mid-battle. So often we have the AWPers coming up against one another there, and there's so much potential for some of those cheeky shenanigans. Waiting to see who wins out on this duel. Car spots out Lil Z. Can't make the shot connect, so bit of a war of attrition here. No one will win this one out. She'll eventually have to retreat off of that angle. FURIA opting for a very strong presence over towards this A site. I like that Lily Tens is still playing a more aggressive position over towards A. So they've got some decent extremity control, some decent map control. I know that there's a lot of noise being made over in towards mid. And finally, Luli Tens will activate. Izza now taken off the board. That's going to make things a little bit more difficult for FURIA. They're going to struggle to cross these doors if they so want to. And as I say that, yes, they will invest the smoke into that. They want to try to recover that AWP if possible. Lil Z not really looking to let that happen. So she's going to hold the line here. And instead of going for it, I said AWP, I was being silly. It was Izza that went down. Would have been fun if it was the AWP battle, but no, just a regular old rifle. And instead, Bazina will use that smoke to get up close and personal in the doors. And this is something that FURIA do very, very well. Can potentially catch them off guard here. Now Sophia pushing through, expects the first, but doesn't expect the second. Luli Tens will trade and keep this that little bit more contestable. Now Car under heavy, heavy fire from these flashes will get forced off of her angle. That's going to give a lot of space for Atrix. Luli Tens get caught out in the open. Bomb will get planted, and finally, Atrix are going to be able to come back into this. Yes, they did lose a few rounds, but they forced FURIA into a position now where they have to save, and they take this round fairly cleanly, only losing one player. Apologies for Freddy's just having some slight tech issues, so we'll try and get him back in as quickly as possible. So you're going to be chilling with the Nauri podcast today. Unfortunately, don't have a banting partner as Gabs. Good for one. Looks like Car will be able to hold on to this AWP. Gabs died so that Car could hold on to the AWP and still have that into the next round. Would be nice if they could have held on to that second rifle, because money becomes a little bit of an issue here. Not an issue per se. They can still buy in. But for that long-term economy, it starts to get a little bit sticky. Would have liked to have been able to have that extra bit of cash. Now I want to see what Atrix do. They've tried to be fairly dynamic with their approaches. That last round obviously being the best one that they've had so far. They play that a little bit more slow, and getting that opening kill certainly made all the difference in the world. But now, ooh, shot not quite connecting there. Spotted the pixel of the head, but it's going to be Gabs to get that first kill. She's anchoring on this B site, and when she was in the pistol round, she struggled, but this time around, there will be no struggles. Izza there to back her play, and Atrix will just completely crumble under just the two players holding on to that B site. I said they were maybe looking a little bit cold coming into that pistol round, but they have warmed up.
And we're back.
I believe Freddy. There he is. Hello. Welcome.
Would you love to see it? And yeah, I mean, I was watching. I could see it, but I couldn't say anything. But that was a really first good gun round from Atrix. And I was really excited. I was like, oh, They, you know, winning the first gun round, they make up for their mishaps previously. But then, as you say, they just straight away FURIA come back into the round, and it looks like it's still going to be the FURIA show on the CT side, and hopefully not getting anything dangerous up against the pistols, because I'm looking at the purchase for Atrix, and there's not really much to write home about there.
Ooh, that's quite brave from Car. Just as the smoke is busy blooming, she'll fire a shot, run out into the open. She gets hers, but she does get traded. Bit expensive there, losing that AWP. But again, this should likely be another kind of a nothing round. And yeah, it is definitely coming up FURIA here. And that's quite concerning for Atrix. Remember, this is their map pick. Now, I'm looking forward to Atrix's CT side. They generally tend to do some fun shenanigans. But I think the issue that they might run into is that their Dust2 has been seen a few times. And a lot of their shenanigans will have been clocked. So I'm a little bit concerned if they can't get a couple more rounds here on this T side, that maybe CT is going to be a bit too difficult.
Yeah, I think that leads kind of excitingly into a point where in ESL Impact, across every single region, we have a lot of roster changes, right? That is not necessarily that everyone knows. And we've actually got two teams who haven't made any roster changes since the last season. So these are two teams that will be familiar with each other's playstyle to an extent. And I think that's a very interesting narrative coming into this, of both teams are one of the few that haven't changed anything. But Car, she's just been so aggressive. And the fact that she gets out, the re-aggression is very, very brave there, especially when Gabs and Isa are flanking. Maybe didn't have to go for that.
Definitely didn't have to go for that. But you know what? She was feeling confident. And here is that lurk activating Gabs. What an outstanding player. All right. That's really unfortunate. Gabs gets taken so long. Isa's the one that ends up dying. But she does trade it out. Now, this has been kept pretty expensive. Lizzie, you know this one here. Spots her out. Can't connect the shot. And it's Gabs to rack up a 4th in this round. She's been outstanding.
I mean, that was, wow. We've got Lulatens, who started off really early on fire form, and then Gabs in that round. A little bit, you know, there's definitely some question marks of like the Xena dying on short, maybe overextending, overfacing, while she does have the cavalry coming through, and same with Car as well in middle. But apart from that, like, it was a really, really lovely round. And for Gabs, just saves it individually. And, you know, if that's what we're seeing, what we highlighted of just every individual able to step up, it's scary.
Now, bearing in mind, very recently, this is a map that Atrix actually beat FURIA on 13-10. And it looks like FURIA have kind of, like, they took that personally. Also, what? I now remember why Gabs is my favorite player, because she plays the AUG over towards the B site.
The AUG. You an AUG abuser?
Oh.
You would have.
If I was good at the game,
loved,
I
like,
would be.
2017. This is really scary when it's just like there's 3 players on like 9, 11, 11. Like that, very early on, you've already got individuals just like reaching tippy-toppy form.
This is one of the things that I love so much about the international scene, and the fact that these ladies have all these opportunities to play at international events and play against teams that are better than themselves, because they can learn and grow so much from those experiences. I mean, you look at FURIA and their history over the course of ESL Impact, and it's been a little tumultuous. It's been a little up and down. They've been kind of butting heads with Fluxo, well, then Fluxo, for a lot of the seasons, even MIBR in the early seasons, and now, you know, back on top of the world. And they could only really do that because they were able to, you know, play so much against better teams and continually learn from them.
I mean, this is going perfectly for FURIA. Like, on the CT side, Kara is getting aggressive wherever she wants. And in this round, Sophia is going to be completely caught off guard because she hasn't died yet, but Gabs has got all the information of her running away. Card, though, that's a big missed AWP shot. So Sophia's cognizant of the fact that Car's there. Will she expect Gabs? Well, apparently, yes. When the flashbang comes in, that's a massive play from Sophia, where this round could have fallen with her dying, but instead, she now creates so much space for her team to work up short because Bazina's been forced to rotate towards middle. There's a big gap currently towards the A bomb site, and Atrix are looking to abuse that.
It looks like Atrix a little bit slow to react on this. And I do like how FURIA are opting to deal with this. Car moving away. Oh, man. It's read so perfectly. They realize that Sophia is the only one. So Car, ever the dynamic AWP, moves over towards mid, spots out a player, and very quickly takes Sophia down. A little bit of a revenge kill there, and brings that numbers to a more even kilter. Now she can feel confident staying on B in case something happens there, while the rest of her team lock down this A site. And with all of this utility coming through here, Bazina? That was a bit odd, but that's okay. Luli Tenzin is there to back her up and make sure that they keep things on a slightly more even kilter. Now, Little Z will be able to get that plant down. Shout out the org, just because I can. But Luli Tenzin now has to... Yeah, exactly. I love it. And I love that it's also being a fairly dynamic weapon because you're like, it's going to be on B. It's not on B. Little Z able to get the first onto Luli Tenz, but Car ever the... Oh, man. Did you see the look on her face?
Yeah.
She was devastated. We need to replay that just because that's what we live for. The player reactions.
Mean.
No, but it shows
mean.
how much she cares, bro. We gotta feel that pain with her. We have to understand just how, she almost clutches that. It was so close. And then Car just does Car things.
Yeah, so you touched upon it a little bit as it was proceeding, was the quote-unquote like revenge kill on Sophia. And the reason why that is actually really important is because Car gets that kill. And I remember looking at her and I was like, she's speaking a lot. Like, I was like, she's saying a lot of words. I was like, why? I was like, well, because she got the kill on Sophia. And... Yeah, no, but I was like, what is she saying? That's like so much. And I was like, oh, well, it makes sense. So the reason why there was the rotation from, I think, Bazina onto the bomb site, which, she died, but it still added to the value of the round, was because Sophia died. And guess who was the lurk towards B tunnels? Sophia. So Card gets not only a kill to put it into the 4v4, but it's the specific kill onto the lurker, which allows for the rotation for FURIA. And so far, FURIA, this is looking really good. And it's just another aggressive play from Card. Dynamism is an understatement for her right now. Issue is she is going to get smoked off, and Luli Tenz, well, takes the mantle perfectly.
Luli Tenz is 14-4. Like, could you not? Is kind of where that is. She's
like
absolutely outrageous.
13-6. Oh, they're all doing amazing.
They really are. In fact, funnily enough, it's Car that's underperforming. And it's not even an underperformance because she's been hitting those shots. She's been doing some crazy stuff, but she gets a bit cheeky and then she gets traded and, she dies fairly early, so her death count is a bit higher. But she's hitting her shots when she needs to. Oh, sign in. She's got the bomb. That's the concern for me. Dangerously low, backs out. That is the right call to make. You do not want to lose the bomb there. But unfortunately, 3 players left. Sign-in low on HP. And Luli Tenz in their back line, brother. Oh, it's all over for Atrix in this round. I don't see a way back into this. Car's holding the line. Luli Tenz gets the backstab. Car, there it is. The kill onto Sophia. 2 rounds in a row. And finally, Sign-in will die in the flames. I thought Luli Tenz shot her. Nope, that was the molly. Oof, what a round. I mean, FURIA are running circles around Atrix right now.
Yeah, this almost feels like unfair right now. Like, this is the FURIA that we came to watch, and I'm glad that this is what we're saying from FURIA up to an underperforming MIBR, because I was questioning my whole sanity, but currently I'm starting to understand it. Like, FURIA, they dropped 1 round right in their debut. That's the level that we want from them, and they're showing that similar level against one of the potential underdogs of the season. And it's like every single player is just shooting so hard. And look, Car's got 6 kills, got a clutch, got a couple opening kills. She's about to get another one here. Oh, I spoke too early. Have we cursed Car by putting her as our Kadia player to watch?
I feel like we do that often, to be honest. Very often our Kadir player to watch has a bit of a rough time. But, you know, that's also a storyline in itself, I suppose. Ooh, Bazina gets her head lobbed clean off. This has been great from Atrix so far. Solid early control here, punishing that aggression. Sinan's in such a good spot. But unfortunately, Izza wins out that battle. Back down to 3 versus 3. Izza, you're so cheeky with it. But Gabs manages to get 2 there while Little Z will take out Izza herself. And Reggiane now 28 HP. Caught in a potential... No. Lulu Tense is back the way. No, she's looking the right way, but she loses the battle either way. A 10-2 half on the pick of Atrix. This could not be going any worse.
Recognize that feeling, the demons under your ceiling, when everything hurts and nothing is healing. Yeah, I don't even wanna be awake, cause every second that I live is like a wasting. Can you help me start a replace all the memories that stand in my ways? You know what I really hate the most is that happens to me is like a ghost. It's so far away, I only wanna be okay. Tell me why should I stay? Sleep, but I just can't seem to set my mind at ease. I can find an escape. There are many doors I would take, but I can't make one of them become a way. So I'm drowning myself in the media, cause I don't wanna face what I'm fearing yet. I am scared of fighting this alone. I've tried to turn on the light, but my demons know how to hide. Lately there is just no end in sight. Tell me why should I stay away? If only dreaming can erase the pain. Tell me why should I waste another minute staying in this critical phase? I'm just praying for some better days. I'm just praying for some better days. I'm just praying for some better days. Some better days. Some better days. Once we start, you know we're never gonna stop. We own it, we're winning every time. We own it, pushing every day and night. We own it, we don't do compromise. Yeah, yeah, we touch down every time. Every time. We touch down every time. This is our time, hit it up with the rebound. This is our time.
A very, very strong start from FURIA. They lay the law down on Dust2, on Atrix, and the whole of ESL Impact. They are saying to every single team that we are here to play. We're not here to maybe roll over and give you guys an opportunity to upset us. They want to win the whole goddamn thing, and it starts right here. They've dropped 3 rounds so far across 3 different maps, and they're looking to continue that trend.
And this might be a little toxic, but this is the match I was expecting yesterday. This is not the match I was expecting today. But Atrix, this is the problem. Atrix have a pretty good CT half, but with only 2 rounds in the first half, and now losing Bokor so early on does make things a little bit more scary for them. Bomb has already been planted by FURIA. Atrix under heavy fire from every single direction. Trying to make their way back into the site is proving incredibly difficult. Gabs, the gatekeeper of B, will not be the gatekeeper of the A retake. She does get taken down, and now this feels like it's within the realm of possibility, but as time ticks away, their opportunities are going with it. Lil Z to get one more, but she'll get traded now down to the last 2. Lulitens from down range, she's gonna have to Kobe this. She does! The shot connects onto Sophia, and that's it. That's FURIA winning this pistol round, and well, they don't get the final kill. Little Z does, but let's face it, who cares at this point? 11 rounds for FURIA.
What a clutch from Lulitens. That's the second 1 versus 2 we've had, or I guess, second clutch we've had out for FURIA. The first was Carl, the second Lulitens, and like that is mesmerizing. That the fact that she's in a 1 versus 2 and she's not fighting Little Z, she's actively targeting the bomb diffuser. It's like, here, she knows about Little Z, she's missing the shots, and she goes, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna 1-tap Sophia, and she denies the bomb being diffused, and well, actually just automatically gives FURIA 12. From start to finish, we've had dynamism and electricity from FURIA as they have just been soaring to the top.
Atrix not opting to force into this round. It's one of those double-edged swords. Very often you'll see a team do that when they are at so much of a deficit, but opting instead just a couple of upgraded pistols to see if they can get something done here. Nah. All right, so that goes more or less as expected. A bit of a nothing round. Here's the problem. Losing that round puts FURIA on map point. Atrix, yes, they have weaponry into this round, and so I suppose in a way it's the right call to make, because otherwise you have a janky buy in the last round, you have like nothing into this round, and it's the same result, but you didn't really... They'll have a chance to put up a fight. Lil Z, who has been the star for Atrix so far, which is not saying terribly much, unfortunately, does have an AWP in her hands. And if she can get a nice early pick-off here, it could make a difference.
Yeah, no armor's going to be a big, unfortunate question mark. Reggie Ann's already been tagged down. I'm not even sure where from, but she's on 28 HP. And this is nice aggression. Really cool aggression, actually, from B Apartments. Gabs is dead. Even from B Apartments, B Tunnels. Gabs is dead one way or another. And it's going to probably be the backstab from Sophia, but there's a lot of resources being committed for Atrix towards middle. And I wouldn't be surprised if FURIA, on a response to this now, burst. If they just go quite fast up long, and if they do, it's going to be very hard to defend because there's just not many players ready and waiting. Little Z, we were hyping her up, but on the AWP, gets nothing, and it's all falling apart. FURIA, they look to strike fear through the hearts of Atrix. Sophia left alone, a 1 versus 4. There's nothing she can do, and Car has got her number. FURIA are about to hit 13. They're going to be taking their opponent's map pick, and they are going to be doing it in style and in class. Sophia gets 1, but that's it. Her body hits the floor, and FURIA rejoice.
And in the final moments of that dying round, both Luli and Izza hit 20 kills. So going to be feeling pretty darn good about their personal individual performances. Excuse me. Very, very solid performance. Most of the teams in the South American region for quite some time. But the fact that it's FURIA's map pick leaves us with a bit of concern for Atrix, Freddy.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared for Atrix because the only rounds they won on their map pick was the first pistol round, and then if I'm not mistaken, it was like the first full gun round. So they were 3-2, and then it was 12, and then it was 13-2. So yeah, I think definitely there's. I'm scared. I think you should be scared. I think Atrix, they need a shot of espresso, and they need to Firm now this second map. Let's see if they can get some excitement early on, and it's not a good start. It was a early lean away from the B-bomb side. Sophia was the only immediate defender. She gets eliminated. The trades are good, but Bokor, I don't anticipate her to maybe expect Bazina. So when we leave up to Car and Gabs, they can just focus on long and short. And yeah, Bokor doesn't anticipate Bazina in the corner. And now this retake, I would argue, is almost impossible. And the time with it ticking down makes it so. Reggie-Ann, that is a really nice shot. And Simon, okay, she's defusing the bomb. The Molotov was actually pulled for Gabs, but the smoke's on the bomb. Knives are out. It's getting a bit awkward, but a stab in the back, stab in the shadows as FURIA take round one.
Bro, the amount of money from that knife kill is actually outrageous, plus the other 3 kills that Bazina managed to rake up for herself. That's cheeky. That's, I mean...
Boring.
There you go. So yeah, FURIA, nice opener for them, getting it onto the side pretty much uncontested. Really feeling good about that. And already into the second round, Car Sensei, take no prisoners. This has been her approach so far throughout this series, and she just carries on with it. But Little Z with that Deagle will get that first, cannot follow it up, unfortunately. Once her position was known, she was not long for this world. Luli10's Guardian of Donut, but will only manage to get one. That's okay though. Bomb has made its way in onto the site. Should get planted. Oh, Sophia caught sleeping at the wheel. And unfortunately, that means that with only 2 players left alive here on Atrix, I mean, obviously they still go for it, but it becomes that little less doable.
Yeah, I mean, well, what's really nice for FURIA is that they slow down and they allow Gabs to put herself in a position where she basically just wins the round out for them. As soon as she gets that kill in Donut, it allows for the bomb to get planted. They can cycle the smokes towards CT. And if there was ever any hope for Atrix, it all faded away. And for FURIA, it looks like it's going to be a really good start as they are locked in. Car, yeah, is yet to frag. And you know what? Ancient is a little bit difficult map for AWPers, kind of inherently. And, ooh,
wow, okay.
That's, you know, the whole point I was making about positivity now is maybe scrambled a little bit, because Atrix, they lose the round, but they bring everyone from FURIA down with them. And with the AK and armor safe from Reggie-Ann, there's a genuine conversation of repurchasing back into this round, but it looks like that won't be the case, and it will just be this hero AK.
I don't think that that's a bad choice, all things considered. You know, you know you're coming up against an incredibly strong team. Why take unnecessary risks? Rather come into the next round with a more robust buy. And if Reggie-Ann can get 1 or 2 with that AK, all the better for it. As Izza now kind of cosplaying Car a little bit, rushes straight through, and there you go. The AK delivers 2 kills. So already has paid for itself, but Bazina will snap back very quickly, and unfortunately, not much more to be done there. Little Z caught out, crossing through the smoke, and it's a fairly easy round for FURIA.
Sorry, this is such a random comment, but it's like I mentioned on the other map. I'd love to hear the comms, because Car looks so excited every time she speaks. Like they see, like, you know, she goes for the comms. Am I right? Like she really like says those comms, and I'd love, because it's obviously like a kind of. It's a trend in Iberian countries, in South American countries, where comms can get quite hectic. So I'm assuming there's maybe a little bit of hectic comms there. But it's a really fun watch for when Car saw the short player there. I can see it being like, short. It's like just really like, I don't know. That's made me giggle, but I don't know why. But that's my weird value from that round.
Although, to be fair, like, even in her interviews and stuff, she's such a bubbly, fun person.
Yeah.
She really is. But, like, I thought I was bubbly, but she is just...
next level.
I honestly, every time we interview her, I come out of it feeling better. Just, like, feeling so good and happy and ready for bedtime, because it's, like, 2 a.m. at that point.
Ready for bedtime.
But, you know...
like, I'm happy now.
Yeah, exactly. Have, like, a really nice, restful evening. Sinan is also going to have a bit of a rest now. She's been put to sleep very early on in the round. Sophia to trade that out. Bazina now knows where they are. Only good for the first. The transfer cannot connect. This is so back and forth for our players. But Little Z is still alive, and she's got that AWP trained in. Oh, she's looking to reposition here. Realizes that there's somebody sneaking in behind her. Takes out Gabs, and now Car. What is the play? The bomb will at least get planted. She knows at the very least that Little Z was back here. Does she know that the second player has grouped up with her? She's not checking behind her, so she must have some sort of an inkling, looking to see if she can spray this down. Oh, whoa. Little Z, just so much better. And there you go. I nearly said Little Z will flip things back, which I suppose is relatively true, but it's Atrix who flip things over and take their first round.
Little Z was definitely prolific on map 1, but unfortunately it just wasn't, I guess, quite enough, right? And then coming in already into map 2, first gun round, the AWP has sung. And it's a very awkward proceeding for FURIA because they get the opening kill on B. They have the whole control of the B bomb site, but it's just very disjointed from that point onwards. And it almost looked like the bomb in the 2 versus 2 wanted to go towards A instead of just committing. They never knew where Regiane was, which was, I guess, the big issue. And for FURIA, because of how expensive these rounds have been, it's going to be a low purchase. And as Lulitens is trying to force her way out of middle with Car, Lulitens basically dies to the utility, and Car's on 40 HP. There will be a push coming from A, and I think Car could get very dangerous on the back lines if they don't expect her.
Love seeing that very strong mid control here, and it pays off so well. That early chip damage and the follow-up means that now Atrix, with a second kill, have a massive advantage.
No.
Oh, that was beautiful. Little Z shot through the smoke. Beautiful prediction there from her. What more can FURIA do? They've lost the bomb here. I almost want them to just go and save, but Car, feeling confident, feeling that much better, is instead looking to try to push this a little bit. Molotov through the smoke. We'll see if she does follow that up. Izza is actually tucked in here as well. She hasn't been spotted out just yet, but as the smoke clears, 3 players trained in on her, and finally Car will admit defeat and back away.
Yeah, that was a weird round for FURIA because they obviously wanted to end towards A, but 3 players get sent out middle. It was Lulitens, I think it was Isa on the Tech 9, and Car. And I thought Car was just going to go in second after Lulitens died and be a quick surprise factor, but she takes a very, very long time to mobilize. And there's also just that third person, that third component, which I don't honestly really understand, because I think the big issue with FURIA is that when they got out on the A bomb site, they only had 2 players there. They weren't able to take full control, and Car also wasn't making a proactive move. So Atrix, it's back-to-back good rounds where it feels like they're counteracting. They're counteracting FURIA and catching them off guard. Yeah, it's Gabs. That was it. Gabs with the Tech 9 in middle. I'm just like, well, was that needed? And then even then afterwards, like when Gabs dies, why isn't Car instantly moving afterwards? So for Atrix, this is already a significantly better start and just general map than Dust2.
I also just want to draw everyone's attention to Bazina, who is 10-3 currently.
That's a scoreline for sure.
That is a scoreline and a half, if I do say so.
Oh. Speaking of scorelines.
Ah, Vamos. Exactly, Lil Z. Exactly. I'm assuming that's what she said. I'm no lip reader,
Vamos.
But it felt like that's what was going on there.
Is it
nice little 3K.
Is it in Portuguese Vamos?
I don't know.
I think Spanish is Vamos and Portuguese is Vamos. Maybe.
I don't know. Somebody in chat, if you could enlighten us.
Hell yeah. Also, they're on boot camp, which is something I don't know if we've spoken about, but I kind of noticed it, I think, halfway through the first map. Yeah, they've all got the same backgrounds, so you know what? If they're going to have a bad loss, boot camp is definitely one place to brush off that loss, go outside, take a breather, and it looks like they certainly have brushed it off, because now on HM, they're cruising for a bruising. Gavs, that is a very audacious play out middle. Isa is trying to come and support, but the issue is Gavs has already fallen so early, and it's allowed for Bocca to exit. So now that Isa is here to join the party, there's nothing she can do to contend around that original mid aggression. And on top of that, FURIA now put themselves in this very awkward position at 1:15. They don't have the map control that they wanted, and they've got 2 Molotovs and 2 smokes. If they want to take mid control, they have to use a smoke. But then what do they use for the execute? So it really is just a position where nothing they can do right now really is going to work. And that's one of the smokes used to try to take mid aggression. But Little Z's posted on Donut. A flashbang was used previously to push her off. Here comes the second one, their final flashbang, and it goes too deep. Little Z, she is hitting everything. It's fire on the mic right now for her, and she's spitting bars with that AWP.
I did love the attempt at space denial from Atrix, which gave them a lot to work with early on in the round and allowed them to get that trade-off even after they lost Regiane fairly early on. But it still looks fairly contestable here. FURIA, having hit the brakes, have started to find a way back into this. Unfortunately, Sinan, with that shot onto Bazina, is going to make things a little bit more difficult. Now, Luliten's taking a bit more aggression into the smoke. The swing is too wide. Sophia dies in a molly, which almost made it a doable position, but Sinan, great positioning from her. A 3-kill in the round. One of my favorite players to watch in South America, and she'll go ahead and clutch out that round for Atrix, bringing them to 4 and seeing them take a lead for the first time in the series.
Hey, they won the first pistol round. So that was...
That's
the
fair.
only time they had a lead was when they were 1-0 on Dust2. But I think this one's a lot more substantial. This is a real lead. This is a lead they have fought for. And it's a lead where I'm looking at FURIA and I'm like, okay, so what was plan B after that mid take? Like it was very stagnant. Luliten's gave them the possibility with her lurk, but then in the 3 versus 3, does Bazina need to peek from cave when the smoke's coming long? Couldn't she just have tucked and waited for the utility, but instead goes and dies and gives away that advantage? So now FURIA, as you mentioned, in this disadvantageous position as they have 3-4 down, and they're also just on these measly pistols up against a full purchase. There is good space from Gabs, but as Bocca gets that kill, it's going to allow for 3 players to stay towards B.
I was about to say this should be a bit of cleanup, but FURIA will at least get a couple of kills for their troubles. Get a little bit of extra cash. Don't think there's much more here for Card to do. He's probably just going to try and hold on to this gun. And this is where things are getting a bit stressful. I mean, I was talking about Bazita's scoreline. This is the first kill she's gotten in like 3 or 4 rounds, which is definitely concerning. Iza, who was one of our top performers in that previous map, not quite getting the same results here. FURIA struggling to an uncharacteristic level here on Ancient, but it's great to see Atrix putting up a lot more of a fight. Oh, what a snappy shot. But yeah, Atrix putting up a lot more of a fight than what we saw on that first map. I spoke a little bit about how FURIA looked a bit cold in that first round on the first map. Maybe Atrix were feeling a little cold too. Maybe, first map's a warm-up, you come through onto the second map and you start feeling a little bit more comfortable. And I said Ancient has been a fan favorite in South America for quite some time now, well over a year. So you know that they're going to be comfortable on this, despite the fact that it's FURIA's map pick.
I was going to say, FURIA are really legit on this, though. Like, they just beat everyone. It's like 13-2, 13-6 on Floxo at LAN, 13-11 against Imperial, 13-3 against Fluxo as well on LAN. Like, FURIA are very legit on this map. And right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be the case because Sinon has traded out, but unfortunately gets overrun towards the B-bomb site. Bazian. Ooh. Okay, the Molotov is be put down, and Little Z needs to be careful because even though she's fire with the AWP, she can't sit in that fire, will return fire with a grenade, and Carr actually doesn't anticipate that boost. That now sways the advantage for the CT side, and Gabs needs to get a move on because she's over towards Cave. Bazina does tuck around the corner and short just in time. Little Z, a lackadaisical clear, and now this is looking really good for FURIA on the post plot until Regiane might have something to say about it. A smoke to potentially aid her on the defuse. That's going to sail towards Cave. Scab sat behind it, but peeks as it's blown. Reggie-Ann thought that she'd actually come out onto the bomb site, and it's FURIA to punch back and crawl their way back into the jungle.
Oh, I will just say, so we've had an update. Thank you, Helena, the GOAT, one of the GOAT mods. Vamos is indeed Spanish, and Vamo is Portuguese. So well done,
and
Freddie.
they call me a genius. I have Portuguese and Spanish friends. Yeah,
I was about to say, there's no way anyone calls you a genius.
No. Yeah, my university degree dropout. Yeah, definitely not that.
That's okay. Some of the smartest people never got an official? What's the word?
Yeah, Bill Gates and me. Yeah, we're one of the same.
Real.
Same.
Same person. I also wanted to update everyone a little bit late to the game on this update, but Quemsalas have taken the first map against Masitas pretty dominantly as well. It was like 13-5. It do be rough out here. FURIA making things very rough for Atrix. Bazina getting that kill on 1 HP up to a second. Like, this whole round was just FURIA running circles again. Such strong A presence. They just overrun the site entirely. And it begs the question, where was this like 3 rounds ago?
Well, it's a lot more direct, to be fair. And I think it's direct with also like correct utilization of lurkers. Busy-Ann gets a kill. I think she gets the donut kill or the red room kill. And then certainly the one on lane as the lurk. And it's then allowing for the rest of her teammates to bundle in. Oh, that's an awkward oopsies. Okay. Yeah, 5-5 for FURIA. And it's going to be no saved AWP, no one's safe for Atrix, and right now the pin in the paw is slowly being alleviated. And I wanna also say, I don't know who exactly was the cause of that. Was it Newt? Whoever it was, genius, and they have pleased me so much.
But what did Newt do?
Well, apart from being the best person on earth, the pin in the the pin in the paw, thorn in the paw. Oh.
So good.
Literacy, genius.
Definitely Newt. That's our boy. For those of you who maybe don't remember the name, you surely must remember the bow tie and Newt's Nook from our online, or rather from our LAN stages. He's our favorite statistician and the only one who doesn't put us to sleep. So we stand.
He's also just a beautiful human being.
He is.
Sorry, just had to get that one out there.
This is definitely Freddie's man crush.
Oh, of course. Top of the list. Yeah, no, statisticians. Oh, hello.
Oh.
Peekaboo. I envy statisticians because I wish I had the ability to build my own database because I incorporate stats on every level a lot. And we had, I got the ability to try out Skybox, which was, it's actually, what's his name?
Anders.
It's Anders. It's Anders' project.
Yeah.
That thing is insane. And we were at LAN against a team who were using it, and they showed me it, and I was just like, whoa. And the stats database and how it compiles is ridiculous. And it's like, I just kind of wish I could do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, so I have a slightly ADD brain, so I remember like stories and like overarching things. Facts and figures, I have to, like for matches, right? I've got to go and re-look at that stuff before we go live because I do not retain that information. I'll be like, yeah, Car's an amazing player. Why? I don't know. I just remember she's amazing. And then I have to go and find the stats to back up my claims. Or, we just allow her to do it in the server. But it's really Bazina who's stepping up here again. I kind of called her out for slowing down, and then she very quickly hit pedal to the metal once again. Sophia, well, only good for that first. It's a great little trade-off from Lulitens. And again, it's instant control of the site here for FURIA. Atrix really playing that retake game and really just not getting the love from it anymore. FURIA have taken control of the site. An uncharacteristic missed shot there from Little Z puts Reggie-Ann in a tight spot. 1 versus 3. She gets that first. There's still more to be done. Now, the bomb still needs to be recovered. So she should know that she's got a little bit of time to play with. She's gotten the second. She gets the third. Reggie-Ann. What a performance from her to even out the scoreline at the end of the half.
Press play. You know I feel the same way. Something crawling under the surface. Snap your fingers, we'll go there. We can find your inner furnace. Keep racing to the mantra. Don't stop, get what you're after. No rush to find an answer. Let it all out. Stay moving as the beat goes. Feel free and let the rain fall. No need to know tomorrow. Run into the light. Run into the night. Run into the light. Run into the night. You don't have to hide no more. Melodies will guide you. Take my hand to the dance floor. Feel the energy make you new. Keep racing to the mantra. Don't stop, get what you're after. No rush to find an answer. Let it all out. Stay moving as the beat goes. Feel free and let the rain pour. No need to know tomorrow. Run into the light. Run into the night. Run into the
A little break for FURIA to mull over what just happened. They got absolutely blown out of the water. What an sensational clutch from Reggiane. A 1 versus 3 to keep her team alive, equalize the scoreline, and now can that energy be channeled into this pistol round?
Kick things off with a bit of catalytic flashes. Despite that, however, Car Sensei is just like, sit down. First 2 kills as soon as Atrix pop their heads out. He moves in front. He's like, whoa, Car, you can't get all of the kills. Let me have some of that action. Bazina being dangerously low is just backed away. Atrix are like, okay, so the A site is a problem. Bomb has now started moving into a corner.
Chilling.
Chilling.
Waiting for the heaven push if there's one. Issue is, Atrix, their philosophy right now is sound. But in a 3 versus 5, or I guess 5 versus 3 for FURIA, they're not going to push. So Atrix, they're hoping for that aggression. It's not coming out. Shadow spotted, by the way.
Ooh. Shot spotted.
Certainly identified. Oh,
Was
little
that a
Z
team
killed a
kill?
teammate.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay. That's, you know,
Yeah.
it was going to go that way anyway, so what can you do?
Either
What
an
can you do?
anti-strat or just a really good call from FURIA, because that setup obviously was completely to contradict a donut play. And Atrix, they went through donut and they don't come out the other side. I did think the bomb could have evaded and could have maneuvered over towards B, and I'm surprised that it didn't maybe. But I think when you're in that 3 versus 5, one player's low, just like nothing you can really do is right or wrong. It's a very difficult position to be in, and FURIA ended up leaving A temporarily, but then bringing people back over, which was not to the benefit of Atrix. So even though Reggiane ended that first half on cloud 9, like saying they ended the half on a high does not do it justice. But unfortunately, brought back down to reality now after they lose the pistol round, and it's FURIA back in the lead and in the driving seats.
Holy, all right. Just a few moments into the round, Lily10s will get that first kill. Taking some aggressive positioning here. And I do like this from FURIA. I think that this is a good call to make. You want to really like stamp your claim on this round and on this map, really. Take this in the 2-0 fashion. So when you know you have a massive advantage, press that. Get up in their faces. You know, get that MP9 up close and personal. Unfortunately, is a... Like, she's chasing, bro. Like, she's trying to get the MP9 kill, and finally she'll get one. They weren't looking to give it to her. But yeah, take the aggressive position, get those kills, get them out of the server. You got tons of cash into the next round. And obviously the really important part for FURIA in particular, not losing any players here means that no reinvest. So the potential for that runaway cash is that much stronger. Atrix now finally with a buy in hand. Gonna have to see a turnaround.
Yeah, Atrix have been pretty much in the first half of Dust2 and then the first half of Ancient. They won the first gun rounds, and that was where a lot of success came from, was that early sustained gun round wins. Now it's looking really good. They're popping onto the B bomb site. There's only one player here, but Lily10's laying down lead. Unfortunately, can't trace the MAC-10 that's skirting across her screen, and Isa is going to have to subside as Atrix have the advantage now as FURIA line up for a retake. Isa's got the kit. There's a lot of utility that can be placed in for the retake. Car, I don't know if that nade meant to go sight or maybe towards Cubby, but it's going to be ineffective regardless. And as soon as that CT contact comes through the smoke, Atrix win the round. And it's going to be, as I mentioned, this strong start on the gun rounds for Atrix.
Can we keep that momentum going, right? We know that pistol rounds can be pretty coin flippy. That is just the nature of them. What I do like is that they've managed to bring it back very quickly. Some teams, it'll take them 4 rounds and then on that 5th round, finally be able to come back into it. Some teams just never do. But for Atrix to have done so on that 3rd round. Okay, 2nd round would have been cool. Get that economic reset and make life a living nightmare. Yeah.
And they went on the gloves.
But to do it on round 3 is good, and it does do a sizable amount of damage to FURIA's economy, so long term it could make things very, very difficult. But FURIA now going for that strong mid presence. This could be very dangerous through the flash, through the smoke, gets that first kill, but unfortunately is traded out because she's so blind she can't get away. It's okay though, because Car has her back. So in what could have been a far more dangerous affair, it maintains a 3 versus 3 positioning here. FURIA, however, have lost a lot of that early map control, and now the scramble to restabilize is going to be a lot more difficult.
It's actually really nice. This is so clean from FURIA. Straight away, go into a mid retake. Isa is, to be fair, very alone on this B bomb site, but look how close her comrades are. They are already scaling up heaven, and neither Reggiane nor Sophia. Oh no, Lily10s, turn around.
Oh.
Okay, rude awakening there. Will get the high HP player, which maybe is a benefit, and it sets Car up nicely. Little Z spotted at the bottom of the ramp, but Isa's just saying, guys, I had the B bomb site the whole time. Can I please maybe get a kill for my worry, for my troubles? But yeah, Isa's not going to be anticipated now. Car was spotted running away, and oh, there's another one in cave. Perfect proactivity from FURIA.
I love that. I also love the fact that Carl gets that first kill. We've seen she can get a little bit overzealous after getting a kill and want to re-peak things, want to take fights. Instead, she's like, no, we're going to play this smart. I'm going to back out. I'm going to go all the way back through Red Room, all the way back towards the back of B site. Izza, you move in through Cave. They're never going to see this coming. And they don't. And that final kill with the MP9 as well, that extra little bit of cash. Chef's kiss. The cherry on top. They come into this with a fairly robust buy. Still no AWP available, unfortunately, but they're coming up against another very rough round for Atrix economically. There is a Mac 10 here for a little bit of damage. Not going to get the opportunity. It's the Tech 9 of Sophia, however, that takes down Izza. Now Lily10's kind of has to babysit that rifle. They don't want that to go away.
Luluten's in a very difficult position where all of her teammates are elsewhere. They're focusing on mid, they're focusing on A. So Luluten's has now taken up the role of what Isa had, was just solo on this B bomb site. But as FURIA start to realize that the coast is clear, we're going to see Gabs rotate towards Donut. Car's going to pick up more of a deeper A/Red Room. And it's allowed for Bazina to join up now with her teammates. So Luluten's is no longer alone on this B bomb site. And Atrix, the big difficulty they're going to have just getting anywhere is the lack of utility. They've got a single solitary flashbang on Little Z, and as 3 players trudge towards Cave, this flashbang better be good.
It does connect onto Bazina, but she just backs away. Yeah. Why does this feel doable for Lil Z? I feel like if it's anyone else on the team, I have doubts. But because it's Lil Z, oh, you know what? She's supposed to get... Nah, okay. You know what? I saw a world. I think if positionings were a little bit different, if she was able to pick up a rifle, I could see a world. But unfortunately, it's not going to be this world. Now, just a quick update for you guys. Remember, we do have a second game going on one of our community streams. Actually, on a couple of our community streams, to be fair. We've got quite a few people that are very passionate about the ESL Impact scene. But it's Mesitas versus Kremsaulas. Kremsaulas won that first map. And on the second map, it is 7-5 at the half. So Mesitas fighting back here. Be curious to see if they can take it all the way into a third map. But I'll be honest, I don't think it's likely.
Speaking of unlikely fights to third maps, this is maybe the most important round for Atrix. If they lose this, it's 11 FURIA, it's no money for the T side, and that maybe is just us saying sayonara to Ancient and this series as a whole, and FURIA looking way cleaner than their components in, I guess, more so with MIBR being like, okay, well, you almost lost your game. We're not even breaking a sweat. And this is a good round from the T side. I really like this. They've caused Bazina and Car to stay towards A. Gabs has been pulled away from the B bomb site because of Sophia and that smoke towards Donut. But as this execute gets set up, it seems like we're in very familiar territory of there's 50 seconds left in the round. We've got 2 flashbangs of smoke and a Molotov. That can be used correctly, and especially if this Molo goes on pillar, that's going to cause Isa to be put in a very difficult position. Smoke goes short, and the flashbangs maybe then catch her as she's rotating around. But, well, that's all been a bit muddled because a smoke has just bloomed top of ramp. Sophia's being caught off guard. This is going to maybe allow Gabs to pivot back towards B, and as this utility comes in, they're going through a smoke, and look at Luli 10's positioning. She's standing ready for them to come through, and it's just a field day for her. Little Z left alone. She was throwing the utility. Now she has to try 1 versus 5 with 15 seconds left. There's simply no chance this is attainable. I would say improbable, but it is impossible as Luli 10 puts her in the dirt, and FURIA win maybe the round to break the camel's back.
I think what's so important about Sophia, she is the lurker. Well, she has kind of her bread and butter. So when Bazina catches her in Donut, she's like, we've got the lurk. So they know that it's likely going to be a push towards that B site. So immediately you actually see players from FURIA start to rotate across. Now, okay, they weren't needed because Luli Tens was holding an aggressive angle. Again, very similar to what she was doing on Dust 2, down long. She'll hold that aggressive angle, hide in the smoke, and wait for someone to walk into her. She does it again, and it works out disgustingly. But if it hadn't worked out, the rest of FURIA is already on the move and ready to collapse in. And that's what's so scary about having a consistent lurk and not having enough dynamism, I guess, in your approaches.
Well, and we're running into the meat grinder. Isa lines up 3. She had 2 kills at the half, if I'm not mistaken. Now sits 10 and 13, proudly among the rest of her teammates. It's very even across the board with FURIA. Bazina is an outlier at 21 kills, but everyone is pulling their weight, and that is very difficult for Atrix. This is what I was talking about with FURIA. I look at their team, and I'm like, is there a weak component? Is there someone that isn't going to potentially drop 30? And Gabs, as she adds some crispy headshots to her tally. FURIA 12-7. They have 5 opportunities to close out their map pick, and you can see she's cheesing in the cameras because why wouldn't you?
Oh man, and FURIA once again find themselves on a map point, but this one is also a series point, and this is where things get that little bit more stressful for Atrix. They've put up a good fight on the second map. That first map, far more one-sided than they would have liked, and I think that there's a little bit of a mental shift that happens after losing in such a dominant fashion. But for them to have managed to come back and do so much on map number 2, it's actually so impressive. But it's going to take more. Even with a evened out scoreline at the half, they've only managed to pick up 1 round so far on this T side, which is heartbreaking. And
saddening.
Honestly. And now, okay, they can get a full buy out of this, so we'll be, happy to see that. But Kara's got the AWP back in her hands, and she's definitely come back online. We said on Dust2, she wasn't raking up the kills, but she was landing her shots. Now she's doing a little bit of both, which is so much more devastating for Atrix.
Oh, that's it. This could just be game over. Gabs, 2 strong opening kills into the round, negating any mid presence. Bokor, I don't think she's going to expect Bazina. She's not looking there, and yep, here comes the bullets. Reggiane, we've seen her in these clutch positions before, and well, she has actually just picked up 2 nice kills to not quite even the boat, but maybe calms the waves for a moment. Little Z, we've been talking a big game for her, and alongside Reggiane, these are your 2 players you want in this position. But Car's holding their retreat, and Car connects. Now Little Z left completely by herself. This is it, Sam. Lulitens has spotted her out, and Atrix, it was a good fight. It was a better fight on Ancient, but ultimately the Panthers, the Apex Predators, in their home territory, in their home biome, in the jungle, will be reigning supreme as Car, she's our player to watch for a reason, puts the bullet through the cranium, 13-7, and it's a smooth sailing 2-0 for FURIA.
When you consider that one of the most recent times these 2 teams came up against one another, it was such a dangerously close affair. And again, I'm going to harken back to that graphic that we posted up a little bit earlier on.